So before we get started, let's lay the groundwork. So when I first came into wanting to become a health practitioner, I opened my first clinic. I did not carry health products for the first year and a half because I believed it was a scam. Okay? I didn't. And then, you know, everything, it's all a learning. I don't know where I would be if I didn't start into natural health. I don't think I'd be here. I would not be alive. I don't think I would be alive. Not with the belief systems I had. I really don't. You know, I know the way I was, and if I didn't wake up, please, if I didn't wake up, I know where I'd be. It's logical. So anyways, the more that I was studying and learning, I realized it was all about frequency and it was all about vibration. And then when I realized, and please, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's business, but I found out very quickly because I wanted to do my own nutraceuticals. But I didn't know they were called nutraceuticals, but I wanted to do my own products. I don't have products, I have nutraceuticals, and I'll explain the difference. There was a gentleman that was below me, and he had a health food store on my first clinic. And the reality is what I found out very quickly is the bottling and the bottle and the label cost more than what was inside the product. The average product bottle, I'm not saying all of them, and I don't keep up on the health food stores, and I'm not downing the health food stores. Know that. It's a great starter place. But we're talking about $3.50 to $4.50. That's what's inside the bottle. Okay? Now, I woke up to that really quickly. And then I was taught probably about the second, third year into owning my own clinic by somebody that was very knowledgeable, that used to be a farmer, and then was somebody that would help to restore the soil. Now remember, this is back when I was in my around 24 years old. Okay? And when I finally learned the truth back then, and I'm going to get into this, but I'm telling you the God's truth. You could take an ox or a mule 125 years ago, and it could plow any field. Today, you see how big the tractors are? I don't even know how many horsepower, but it's like a 2,000 horsepower or 5,000 horse. That's 5,000 horses. Because of what? Chemical fertilizers. Yes. Everything is about a disruption. Everything is about to undermine the health of humans. Everything is strategized. I already told you, I'm not going to get into it. As a civilization, there's been many civilizations on this planet, and the reality is we are not an advanced civilization. We're not. Get over it. But that doesn't mean you can't be an advanced human being by feeding your spirit. And it's all based on electrical energy and light. That's it. That's all. So I got that really quick. I also got that the humic and the fulvic were actually stolen from the soils on purpose. And then the chemical fertilizers were put into the soil on purpose to actually destroy the good microorganisms and bugs to get the bad ones in. So, malnourishment is the biggest problem in the United States and Canada. And now it's really coming on strong in Mexico. It never was here in Mexico before. You know, in the last 15 years, it's come on really strong here because it's infiltrating everything. Everybody thinks that the government's in charge, but they're not. Pharmaceuticals own every TV station everywhere in the world, every radio station, okay, every news station, okay, and that's it. So where am I going with this? Well, everybody's programmed. That's it. But the reality is this: you need a tractor as big as a house now to actually turn the soil because there's so much cement in it.
No, they don't even turn the soil anymore. They inject the seeds into the ground.
Yes, I know that, but yeah. So we don't even turn the soil over, and we also don't rotate the crops anymore. Right. Because guess what? Let me give you one example, and then you'll find out that this goes on everywhere. If you want to be an organic farmer, you're screwed. Okay? They will do everything to undermine you because nothing is for the good of the people. I have a friend who owns a winery, and it's an organic winery. And it would cost him $45,000 a year to buy the pesticides, herbicides for his winery. So what does he pay for his organic certified winery license a year? $45,000. That's his punishment. Okay? So the whole thing is a scam. But let me get to it here. So the reality is this. This is only an example. It's not woe me. You have to understand, I know where I live. I'm not delusional. I'm not delusional that the point is I'm going to get attacked if I don't follow the herd. Whether I'm following the herd, like if you want to follow the herd in the natural health industry, you just need to be, how can I say this? You got to fit in, and you cannot create miracles. You're allowed to turn down the burner, but you can't turn the burner off and empower people. People say to me, oh, if I take your course, am I going to get in trouble like you? And I go, no, don't worry, you're not me. Right? Yeah. So, here's the deal. When you buy a supplement, when you buy food, when you purchase water, or when you drink water, doesn't matter. The only thing you're seeking is high vibration and high concentration of light. That's it. That's all. There will come a time when we will be able to measure the frequency and the light in all foods. You will find that sometimes you can go and buy a non-organic food that has more frequency and light in it than an organic one. Because you can be organic and not have any mineral content in the soil and grow it in the beach.
That's right.
And then just pay the price. Okay? So, I don't sell supplements. I never will sell supplements. Supplements, for me, are low vibrational. People will say, well, Dr. Wolf, your C60 is more than this person's. Yeah, guess what? I don't use safflower oil. I don't use olive oil. I use the most expensive MCT oil and the most expensive hemp oil grown. And then we make sure that our C60 is not, coming out of China. We also make sure that our C60 is coming out of the Ukraine or countries like that. See, to have a really great C60, you have to have where the electricity is cheap. And also, where we make our RC60, and I'm just giving you one example because I can give you an example for every one of my products, which you're going to hear, and then you're going to go, this guy's so full of shit. Somebody needs to shut him down. You're going to go, he can't have all these products that are this good. And so now what people do is they only bring me the best. And I only take the best. And people will call me up, and they will, and you don't have to believe me, but I've got a product line coming on right now that is the best EMF protection that I've ever seen in my life. Okay? This works, but they've ramped it up too much. And I'm telling you, I have the best of the best, and I tell everyone just, check out the facts and then see if you can challenge me and prove me wrong. So the reality is everything is about light and everything is about frequency, and I told you about my C60, and in our C60 we use crystal bowls that can hold 250 liters. They look like upside down bells. And then there's a huge spinner that goes all the way down into the bowl. We use the world's best C60. We use the best hemp oil. We use the best MCT. Most of the stuff on there's crap. Safflower oil, sunflower oil. Olive oil is good, but it's not like this. It's not like I use. And I haven't put any of my prices up in 9 years. So I'm trying to tell you that we're going to deliver the best, and I'm always going to deliver the best no matter what I do. And whatever you do in your life, deliver the best. It takes longer, takes more effort, but your life becomes easier and you'll be so much more prouder of yourself. Just do it.
So I got a question. Why?
Now you've got to pick up a mic if you're going to have a question. This is going to take us all day to get through this.
Okay.
But this is very important that you understand the differences.
So why on the airport they took my C60, my half a bottle of C60, because there was hemp written on it?
What?
They took the bottle.
Well, how big was it?
It was the big one, but half
No,
full.
you're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, but it was half full.
No, okay, so if you had let me finish. Let me be the one talking, unless you have the mic. If you have a bottle, and that bottle is a 16-ounce bottle, but there's only 4 ounces in, they're going to take it. You're not allowed to have anything more than a 4-ounce bottle. You have to understand something. You're dealing with a robotic program that is supposed to humiliate you. I'm going to say this really quickly. You may not know this, but you'll see it all the time, that when you're going through inspection there and you've got to do this, that's a full body x-ray. You do know that you'll see the 2 security guards sitting there, right by there, and they're switched out every hour. Does anybody know why? Because of lawsuits of getting tumors. Okay, so the person that's actually looking through here, okay, you're getting your stuff, the same thing. They're switching them out all the time. You'll see them. Be alert. Now, if you ask them, no, you get more radiation from being in the sun. That's what everybody says, right? No. Okay. Well, flying, the biggest thing about flying is dehydration and not moving around. But I take my nutraceuticals when I fly. I never have jet lag. I don't even know what jet lag is. And if you want jet lag, eat their food. If you want jet lag, you know what? When we go, okay, when we go on the plane, we take 2 liters of water each, me and Lori. And then we get them to fill up our water. Okay? When I'm on a plane, okay, for every 2 hours I'm on a plane, I'm doing at least 1 to 3 liters, depending on how I feel, of water. But I'm taking nutraceuticals. Remember something, you got to get this. It doesn't matter what they throw at us. What did I just tell you is the most important thing about buying what people call supplements, which I'm not in supplements. What is it? The light and the frequency. Now, if I'm taking high concentration of light and frequency on a plane, did I just neutralize any of the negative effects? All of it. So when I get off the plane, I hit the ground running, baby. I'm here. Well, I got jet lag. No, you don't. You ate the food. You ate the snacks. You didn't drink any water. And then guess what? Don't you remember when you're in the airport? You ate the airport food too. And then also what you remember is too is now when you're in the airport, okay, when you're in a plane, it's about keeping it colder than anybody can ever handle, because guess what? They want to prove out to everyone that everybody is full of infection and everybody catches colds and flus because deadly viruses. You can't have a pandemic unless you make the plane really cold and deliver poison on it. So by the time you're done, you're a snot ball. You understand? That's it. There's no problem. Doesn't matter what they throw at us. You know, just use, okay, if they're going to throw this much negative light, which is the blue light that's in the planes, that's in the airport, look at, I mean, I'm not going to be very long. I'm going to probably be another few minutes, and then I have to wear these because I'm not going to let my eyes get burnt out from all this blue light here, because it's right at me. It's behind you, but it's coming right at me. I'm just going to keep them on anyway. But the only reason why I don't keep them on is because when we actually do a video, and this video goes into the library, people will go, oh my God, why is he wearing glasses? Oh, does he think he's a movie star? They don't understand that these are Teslas, and that it'll take blue light, it'll take 5G that hits my eyes, it'll take the blue light that hits my eyes, and actually it was developed by Tesla. It's C60. It's C60 fluorine. So when it hits here, it heals my brain and heals my eyes. It doesn't just neutralize. We're not after that. We want to use things and harness things that take their negative and turn it into a healing. And that's what these do. Understand? So everything is about frequency and everything is about light. So if I have to go out into the world where the majority of the population think that they have a headache because they have headaches, they think they have burning eyes because they're tired. They don't know that it's the light, it's the 5G. I mean, I protect myself from it. Okay, do you buy into the part that you are a frequency being? A light energy frequency being? Do you buy into at least that much? Oh, you mean you're not just a piece of meat? Okay, that's good. Now we can move on. Okay, so if you knew that, then you would only be hanging around with high vibrational people, eating high vibrational things, drinking high vibrational things, watching high vibrational things, and that is it. That's it. But I can't always do that. So people will say, oh my gosh, well, if you're such a health nut, you know when you fly, you get this and this. No, I don't. I know how to neutralize it. How many people know that if you work 2 hours on a computer, then you need 2 hours of grounding to bring back the electrons that the computer stole from you? You didn't know that, did you? Okay. That's why we carry the top award-winning grounding mats. You can put them under your feet when you're on a computer, put it under your computer. Every one of you, if you don't own a grounding mat for your bed, you missed out on the whole thing. Hey, look, you're just going to lay there anyway. So you might as well lay where you're completely grounded and you're being recharged with electrons all night to get you ready to go back into the world that is full of blue light, full of 5G. I mean, it's not down here. We only have 3G in Ixtapa Course. I am going to live where I can have the best life, and then I'm still going to protect myself on all levels. Most of you will never do it. You will not protect yourself. You will actually let yourself get hurt, because suffering is what we do for our family. You're not a leader, and you cannot help anyone until you've done it for yourself. Do you get that yet? Yeah. I mean, how many people in here just want to find something broken so they can save it, so they can have value? That's what we get taught, right? Okay, so anyways, I'm off track. So the reality is that every product I have, organic, of course. People say, is it organic? Well, why would I do anything else? But that doesn't matter, does it? You got to make sure the minerals are in the soil. Then how is it processed? How is the product processed? Whether you believe this or not, most of my products are supercharged with frequencies. I used to put that right on my labels, and guess what? The government came after me. You're not allowed to say that it's frequency infused. Okay, my silver bullet gel and liquid, we put 1,000 volt lightning bolts through that product, and we supercharge that product. I mean, today we can say it more because more people are saying it. But when I was doing this, remember something. When I was 28 years old, we were already charging things up with frequency and light. I had to remove it from all of my labels. Everything is bloody well ridiculous, you know. The medical system doesn't believe in spirit. They don't believe in energy. They don't believe in electricity. They don't believe in anything. But all their equipment actually tests your frequency. Every one of their pieces of equipment are testing where your frequency is. Because when you are aligned and your frequency is in the right place and you have enough light in your body to feed your cells, there is no illness. So absence of light and low vibrational frequency is all what their equipment tests, and then they tell us that we are woo-woo, woo-woo. So the whole thing is all messed up. And then when you go and you buy, like, remember when the one-a-day came out? The one-a-day pill? Well, mine is called the Perfect Day. And my Perfect Day has 150 different nutrients in it, and they're all high vibrational. It's all organic. And there's not even a prenatal one-a-day out there that can even come close to my Perfect Day multi. There's nothing. It took us 4 years to bring that together. 4 years to bring it together. And just know this, nobody has an illness unless they have a mineral deficiency. Nobody has an illness unless they have a fatty acid deficiency. Nobody has an illness unless they have amino acid deficiency. And you might even get somebody that's eating animal products 3 times a day, and they still have an amino acid deficiency because they're not breaking it down properly, because they're the wrong blood type, or they have too much anxiety, or they have too much chronic fatigue. Because why? Low oxygen, low minerals. If you've got low oxygen, you've got low minerals, and you've got low enzymes, you can eat all you want and it's going to rot inside you. If you're going to eat a dead animal, which is a carcass, you better make sure that you have the ability to break it down, or you've got a dead animal rotting inside of you. Yes or no? Would you rather a dead animal rotting inside of you, or would you rather a dead head of lettuce? Which one's going to hurt you more?
Dead animal.
That's right. So, but we talked about the rules of eating, didn't we? Combining. So we're not going to go into that part today. But everything is about vibration. Everything is about frequency. Everything is about light. So don't forget that. You need to get that. Okay. Any questions before we move on? Yes. Can you pick up a mic? Can you hand her the mic? We'll always take an extra second because then we hear.
What should your oxygen, like when you test your oxygen, should it be like 95 and up?
Well, the higher the better.
Right.
But just remember something. What's the main thing that steals oxygen?
Bad circulation?
Fear.
Oh, fear.
Fear. That creates anxiety.
Right.
Anxiety releases
Cortisol.
What? Histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol.
Right.
Okay.
The death hormone.
That eats up the oxygen.
Right.
Okay? All right? So the reality is, and also, what about your breathing? Most of you only breathe from your nose. You know, I remind myself all day long to do the Lionheart breath, right? Okay? All right? 4 seconds in, hold for 1 second, 6 seconds out. Now, you're not going to hold for 1 second all the time, but 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Your longer, slower breath, your longer, slower, deeper. Longer, slower, deeper. Okay? Because it keeps you in alignment. A fast, shallow breath, low oxygen, right? But why do you have fast and shallow? Because you're always dripping adrenaline and cortisol into your body because you're always running anxiety. And now let me just give you one example. We can't stay here too long. Whenever you go to school, I worry about you. Just stay safe. Whenever you get in the car, whenever you go out at night, just stay safe. Just know that I love you and I don't know what I would do if I ever lost you. That person's a terrorist to themselves and to everyone else. And there's low oxygen level. If you notice, they're always exhausted. They're always tired. Okay? Because guess what? The invisible creates the physical. The psychological rules the biological. End of story. Okay? So, yeah, that's the deal. And I'm going to tell you something. So everything about my practice, you know, our clinic down here, the DOD 5-star healing retreat, everything is based on light and frequency. Whether you get in the pool, it's the highest light and frequency. You know, all the equipment we use, you know, we've got $500,000 in equipment just sitting at the DOD 5-star. But, you know, the reality is this. Einstein stated, the future will depend on energy medicine, but he didn't mean it that way. He said the future will depend on you realizing that you are an energy, electrical, magnetic being. He was giving us a tip, and that, you know, and that we're going to have to look at what we put in, how much light is in there, how high is the frequency. Well, you know, don't go to supplements, nutraceuticals. We're talking about the actual science of vibration and frequency, right? So, I mean, I have what's called a cell sonic regeneration and a cardio med bed, and I can tell you we can almost, I won't say everything because the person has to be also deserving the healing. What if you didn't deserve to be healed? What about somebody who doesn't believe that they could ever be healed because they were told that they had a genetic illness, which there are none? There's only 4 of them, but they're very rare. You never even hear of them. And that's the only science that's ever been proven, and that could be bullshit too. I'm serious. There is no genetic cancers. There's no genetic nothing from your parents. Okay? Well, only, guess what? The belief systems. That's it. That's not true. My grandfather had heart disease, so did my father, and so do I. I know I'm going to get it. I feel like it. Yeah, well, that's right. You know you're going to get it because you believe it. My father had triple bypass heart surgery. My father had leukemia 3 times. My mother had lung cancer. My mother had tongue cancer. I didn't know it when I was younger, but she didn't even want to tell anyone, but she actually got a total hysterectomy. So, you know, and I'm never going to have cancer. I'm not even going to have a cold or a flu. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, you'll get yours, Daryl. Nobody gets away. Everybody gets colds and flus. No, I don't. Why don't you all just blow your snot on me? The only thing it's going to have is sticky. There's no such thing. You don't catch anything from anyone. You catch their beliefs. You get their vibration. You know, thank God it's Cynthia sitting here because she's learned how to love herself. So, you know, I didn't ask her to sit here, but there's a lot of other people that I wouldn't want sitting right beside me in my field. Thank you very much. I'm not that dumb. So it's not that your field, even if you're still got sick beliefs here, it's going to bother me because guess what? I just protect myself and I know I'm a light energy being. And then people think that's woo-woo, but guess what? I'm the guy that never gets sick. I'm the guy that's having a great life. Thank you very much. Look at the end product. Okay. So how do you find the DOD 5-star? You're there too, right? How do you like it? Are you using all the equipment at night?
I'm also doing leg stretch.
Yeah, the pelvic expander. Okay, I will show you. We will do it. We're going to get to it. But understand something. If you learned how to do a pelvic expander, oh man, it corrects almost everything. Everything, especially in your pelvis, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And then what you want to do with the pelvic expander, I shouldn't go on too much because they don't even know what I'm talking about. But the pelvic expander is what you want to do is there's weights there. Put a weight around your ankle and then put more weight on and then start to really open up. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Some things we're just going to skip by because I don't think they're that important, really. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't believe me, come on the show. It's every second week. And watch what real practitioners, and these practitioners, we've got nurses that were there. We've got women that were housewives. We've got people that used to be carpenters, people that were accountants. And there'll be people that'll be watching this show and going, he has no right to do this. Those people aren't allowed to be healers just because they came to take his course. This is how delusional people are. The government wants you to think that we have no right to call ourselves doctors of natural medicine. They want to get that going out there. And the majority of the public will buy into that horse crap. They'll go to somebody that's not making a difference, but my people are making a difference. So I have a show to show how we make a difference. How the non-surgical, the nutraceuticals, the proper emotional consulting, creating a perfect day from the moment you rise until you close your eyes. And then using something like Cellsonic. Cellsonic, okay, all right, 2,500 volts put into a love harmonic. So if you're not getting 2,500 volts, you'd look like a crispy critter, right? But the reality is the power is still there because it's in a frequency. Do you understand? Okay, maybe you don't. You ever have somebody come walk in the room and you went, whoa, 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 what is that? Well, just remember something. That's an energy medicine device. And then you'd ever have somebody come in the room and you went, I don't feel like being in here? Well, that's called a toxin. There, do you understand? And guess what? You can be standing in someone's field and they're healing you. You can be standing in someone's field and they are sucking from you. And then tell me I'm wrong. Whenever I call my da-da-da, I feel drained. Okay? That person doesn't know they're doing it, so let's not attack them. Thank you. It's just like this. Okay? It's the difference between an organic apple and a donut, right? Okay? A donut doesn't know it's called a donut. It's just a donut. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Yeah. So we're never going to judge. It's just that you got to choose where you want to plug into. Am I allowed to decide where I want to plug into? Well, you'd think not. Okay. Anyways, I want to tell you, I'll make sure. Rafa, make sure that they get Cindy's video of where I took and used cellsonic regeneration and non-surgical and brought, and I don't drag things along, guys. I do not drag things along. I can give you thousands of these if you want. Not thousands, hundreds, when we're talking about breasts and tumors. Hundreds. Where I took a 5 by 3 by 1 inch deep tumor in 24 minutes of non-surgical in cellsonic regeneration and brought it down to 1 inch. And she went home, applied DMSO, she applied Pain Away essential oil, and she applied frankincense, okay, that night. And she got up in the morning and she couldn't find any of the tumor. It was all gone. And you're going to see in the video where her breast is curled in because it's so dehydrated and demented, she can't see the nipple. Okay, and as soon as I did the cellsonic, we could see half the nipple. And then as soon as I did the non-surgical, we had the whole nipple, and her breast was 1/3 bigger. And then also make sure, I want that today. And if we can't get it today, we want it on Monday. I want everybody to have it on their phones and be giving it to them. And then I want them to see also Tim. I worked on a gentleman named Tim, and he got a bullet wound. You're going to see something. He had no tricep. And also, he said he hadn't slept for 2 years. And you know what? Right on the video, what do I say? Well, we're going to do an exorcism. He goes, well, what do you mean? You know, and I go, well, if I go in there and I remove the actual trauma from the area You'll be able to sleep tonight. It's been 3 weeks. First night I worked on him, he slept all night. He slept all night since. So now he wants to bring his wife here because the bullet that actually went into his arm went through her arm first and then into his arm, because he said he was going to do a documentary called COVID to Cancer. And he was talking with Ty Bollinger and Charlene Bollinger from Truth About Cancer. And 2 days later, somebody drove up beside him and shot him. But actually shot his wife, went through his wife, and then went into him. So I'm telling you right now, everything is energy, everything is frequency. And remember how I say issues in the tissues? Well, all you got to do is just unravel the scar tissue, get the calcium back into the bones, bring back the flow, bring back the energy and the light. And guess what? Because every time that he was unable to move his arm behind his back, he couldn't brush his hair, he couldn't do anything, he couldn't lift up his son without pain. This is 2 years. So every time that you have pain that was created from a trauma, you re-trigger the trauma. So it's the domino effect, psychological to biological, biological to psychological, and you keep the story going. But isn't that what we do? We want to let everybody know that we've had the worst life in the world, don't we? And then we get to keep the worst life in the world, don't we? About how do we stop the subconscious from telling this story all the time? Well, you've also got to get rid of the physical problem to get rid of the mental one. Are you with me? Okay. I'm not going to go through all this, guys. It just says that, when somebody purchases a cardio med bed from us, they get a full training. That means a whole life coach certified, Wolf non-surgical certified, and the pelvic course. Okay? All right? And when they do this, when they get the Cellsonic, it's the same thing. So they get a double package. So when people buy both packages, they've got 2 full trainings that they can use, or they can give it to someone else. Right? Okay. This is just basically about the cardio med bed. And I've already told you that. If you had perfect circulation, what would you have? Okay, that's it. So guess what? What else is going to give people perfect circulation better than this? There's nothing in the world. I already told you. What? No, go. Clapping won't do it. No. Well, yeah, maybe if you go and move to Mexico, or you move to a country that you can actually pay someone to clap you for maybe 8 hours a day. But would you allow someone to take a clapper, which is right here? Come on over here and I'll do it for 10 minutes. Right? I'm going to clap myself, but I never do more than an hour and 20 minutes at a time, and I'm doing myself. I told you the story about the gentleman in Bali, right? Yeah, with the lipomas all over his body. Well, he paid someone to clap him for 2 to 3 hours a day. But the reality is this. Nothing's going to touch this. When you're pumping 60% of your blood up into your core and your upper body, and then it all flushes back down in between every heartbeat, nothing touches it. Come on. I mean, how can you take a 93% blockage in the heart, and in 37 to 40 hours, we'll guarantee it, even without a diet change, they're going to have a brand new set of arteries in their heart. A brand new heart. A brand new heart. And that's why we're able to go, and we did a contract. We're able to go and get these cardio med beds that are $250,000, and we make sure and most of them are still brand new because they didn't want to use them in the hospital. And then we turn around and we sell them for $35,000 to our practitioners. So I was told that we have only 30 left in hospitals. So 30 more cardio med beds and the party's over. And then there isn't any unless you want to go and pay the bucks and buy a brand new one. And if you saw, that was a brand new one, isn't it? That one in there only had 150 hours on it. Yeah. So where there's, chaos places, it works out sometimes. Because guess what? The cardiologists went on strike and said they would not do surgery unless the cardio med beds came out of the hospital. So now we get to benefit. Because guess what? the work was never done on what they can do. From erectile dysfunction to avoiding heart surgery to neuropathy to cellulite to fat to pelvic problems, bowel problems, any circulatory problem in the body. Okay. Remember something. 1 hour on here is the most powerful workout on the planet, and all you had to do was lay there. And how many people don't work out? And how many people don't work out because they feel so lousy? So what if you wanted the most powerful workout, or what if you wanted to have something do it for you and then give you perfect circulation, so now you get your life back, so now you're working out on your own? Remember something, there is no such thing as statistical old age. Hey, you're doing really good for your age. That's such crap. They're talking about the average person of your age, which is in trouble. That's all just, that doesn't even exist. Okay? The only time that I have trouble walking is when I sit on my feet for an hour and then they fall asleep. I have the flexibility better than people half my age. Why? Because I'm flexible here, aren't I? You better learn to be flexible here. That doesn't mean giving in. That means observing. Okay? Not judging. Okay. Okay. So you'll see this on my website, and I always tell people, you know, this is only if you can afford it, right? This device here is the best hydrogen cell on the planet, called cell power. It makes the best hydrogen and the most concentrated hydrogen. It really is the best one. You'll see other ones out there, but it doesn't touch it. Just go to your comparison, that's all. Okay? And I don't push it hard, but if anybody wants the edge, because that's what the sun's made out of, right? Hydrogen. Hydrogen helps to heal everything and anything. I tell people, if you do an advanced water fast and you structure your water and then you put it through hydrogen, and if you could drink that, there's no healing crisis. Everything gets ramped up. I'm not telling you you need to own anything. I'm trying to tell you, if you want the edge, that's it. Okay? This is a new program we're going to be starting. You'll see that I'll be coming on every day and doing product of the day, where I'll only talk for like 1 minute. You know, 1 minute about a product, just to give people a little bit of information, because you have to do that. You know, there'll be people coming on going, oh, he's such a marketer. Well, there'll be people on there that are going, thank you for explaining what it does and how to use it. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay? Let's just go back. So lemon lift, you can put that. So 2 drops of lemon lift is half a lemon. 4 drops is a whole lemon. That's a big lemon. Okay? All right? And it's organic and it's concentrated. All right? And that, of course, used for drinking. We know it's high in enzymes. We know that it helps to cut the mucus. We know that it balances pH. Right? And it's a great thing to start with in your water first thing in the morning, if you can't get real lemon. So when I'm traveling, I really like to have it. I don't know why it's jumping like this. Try. Orange burst, essential orange, essential oil of orange, okay, is amazing for the breast. If you can't afford frankincense or frankincense, you go to orange. And if you like the smell of orange, go to orange. It's really great for the breast, but also for putting in your water. Okay? All right? And just know this, those of you that buy orange juice, okay, 1 glass of orange juice will put your immune system in total alert, and not in a good way. for 4 hours. We are destroying our children with the juice box. We're destroying our children buying, nobody should ever drink fruit juice. And if you drink fruit juice, you want to make it natural and yourself, and you want to dilute it. And anywhere from 25% to 50%, and then water. My daughter's smiling and she thinks that I'm talking about this to try to teach her something, but I talk like this in every course because parents are programmed to actually create ADD, ADHD, make their children go hyper so that then they'll get pissed off at them and punish them. What, do you think you can give them that kind of high concentration of pasteurized sugar? You're going to blow their brains out. Why don't you calm down? You know, we give the juice box to a child. That juice box is enough to cause disruption in their brain and their nervous system for 4 hours. And then you get a phone call from the teacher that they can't think properly, and we think that your child is on the spectrum. If I have to listen to that one more time, I think I'll have to go do therapeutic vomiting. Remember something, I want everybody to go back 75 years and then ask yourself if it existed, and please just use half a brain. Thank you. For God's sake, some of you are here to be practitioners. Please, use your brain. I need everyone to go back 75 years before you believe anything, or go back 100 years and do your research. You don't want to know something? The only people that I have an argument with, or want to argue with me, I should say, I won't argue. The only people that want to argue with me are the ones that don't research. That's it. I think we jumped again. Peppermint. Okay. Just put 1 drop of peppermint in if you like peppermint in your water. I'm not a peppermint guy to drink it. Just know that. Everybody's different. You'll find that you have different frequencies because we're all authentic beings. So the reality is, but where I do like it is if you get somebody who's got excruciating pain, use peppermint. That'll just bring that down. I've got it right on my bureau beside my bed. 10 to 12 drops on both bottom of my feet, first thing in the morning, first thing at night. You do it in the morning, it stimulates you, energizes you. You do it at night because it's your circadian rhythm. You're different at night than you are in the morning, and the product at night same product is gonna work different in the morning and night on your body because your body is different. Hello? So then I do it in the morning and I get, woo, yeah, I'm ready to go, baby. And then at night when I put it on, I go, ooh, that is so nice. Most people have very tired, thumping feet. Put that on. Put concentrated peppermint oil on the bottom of your feet and you're just going to go, oh my God, I can sleep so much better. And even if your feet aren't hurting, put the peppermint oil on, you'll go to sleep better. And if you have trouble sleeping, then do belly button therapy. And connect to the lion heart breath. And then just think about all the things you're grateful for and what you want to see in your life with ease. You'll fall asleep. You'll fall asleep. I'll tell you, I used to always go to bed when I was younger, and I used to bang my head because I couldn't get to bed. Because I'd go through everything that I disappointed my parents with, okay? And why was I born dysfunctional? So I'd bang my head every night. Yeah, I would. I'd lay down and bang my head like this until it exhausted me and I would go to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Now you're wondering why you're taking the course. Okay. There's the one. There it is. You want to put that in your drinking water. Super cinnamon will balance your blood sugar. It'll turn off the need for sweets. It's a they're all disinfectant of fungal, herbal, parasitical. They all bring in energy. High frequency things kind of tend to do that, right? but the super cinnamon tastes really great. A lot of people will mix super cinnamon with orange. They'll mix super cinnamon with lemon, and people just love it. They're addicted to it because it doesn't just taste good, it makes them feel great. And guess what? When you're like, there's a fast going on right now, 6-day advanced water fast, right? We do that every 6 weeks here. And people are putting super cinnamon or lemon lift or orange burst, or they're putting 2 of them in their drinking water. They're getting more energy, not turning on their digestive tract. They're bypassing the Krebs cycle, but guess what? They're sailing easier through the water fast. You know, the part that can get a little annoying is how people, the greatest religion on this planet is called suffering. And everybody, not everybody, but the majority of the population believe that you have to have a healing crisis to be well. There's no healing crisis. You don't have to have a healing crisis. If you're ever having a healing crisis because you didn't open up the portals to detoxify and increase your circulation enough, that's it. That's all. That's it. You don't need to have a healing crisis. And understand something. I already told this story the other day, and we'll get to this. Not today, but Monday we'll do it. Or Tuesday. And a lady says, you know, we post, you ever see on, we post about the things we do, like therapeutic vomiting, which dates back hundreds of thousands of years, and it actually will save a person's life. And the lady goes, I don't really know why you're like this. You know, with all the things that are going around in the world, and you're trying to get people to vomit. Well, you're making me vomit right now. And I'm like, where do these people come from? Well, and then I just answered and I said, you know what? Make sure that if you do it and you're going to vomit, read the rules of therapeutic vomiting, because the acid is going to burn your throat. Have a beautiful day. And that wasn't to be smart. I mean, to be a smart ass. You know what? You know what I mean? Understand when somebody says something and it feels like it's an attack and you don't even know them, or you do know them, just know. They're just not in alignment with themselves. Don't be offended by it. If you weren't there and somebody else was there, they'd be getting it. They'd be getting it. But guess what? I'm not taking it. I don't want your gift of abuse. Thank you. Super cinnamon. I know you don't want to believe this. And this is in me. I didn't promise a cure. I said that if you have adult onset diabetes, which most people have, okay. How many people know that right now that 87% of all Americans are pre-diabetic? Pre-diabetic. So diabetes is just a big cash cow. All right? And how many people know that even something as simple as super cinnamon can pull you out of being pre-diabetic? Adult onset diabetes. I didn't say juvenile. Okay? Yeah, you can't sit in the middle if you're going to, because this is going to be, this is a, well, I know, but this is a, I know, but there's a, they can make room. This is a training. Oh, you're doing fine. Okay. Rafa, there's another clicker. I want the other one when we're done. This one is oversensitive today. It must have had a bad night. Okay? I didn't say now. Thank you. Or if you can, maybe we should. Okay? All right, let's talk about black diamond, and there'll be no talking, okay? All right? So let's take a minute for this. Everybody's heard about Shilajit. Shilajit is such a low vibrational product compared to this. I'm not trying to down anyone's business. It can't even come near this. Okay? The actual chemist that produces ours, all right? He said that's just above mud. All right? Compared to this. I'm not saying Shilajit doesn't have therapeutic benefits. I didn't say that. I'm trying to tell you that this is the Rolls Royce. We're the only laboratory that has actually been, and I'm not saying that this is great. It just means that our standards are so high. We're the only lab that has been government approved because of our standards. Our black diamond, our black gold, otherwise all our fulvic, all our humic that we make is made through filtration, a patented process, no chemicals. We're the only lab in the world that does that. Our product comes out of Drumheller, out of Alberta, where most of the dinosaur bones were found. Does anybody know why? Because they would eat the greenery there because it was the richest greenery because of all the humic fulvic and the type of humic fulvic that was found in the soil. There's science behind everything if you really want to dig deep enough. Okay? Now, black diamond is a nano humic fulvic. It will go into your brain. It will go into your brain cells. It'll go into your blood. Okay? All right? It'll go into your lymph. Okay? It goes throughout the fluid of the body. All right? And into the cells and into the brain. And the reality is what it does, it drops off 60 to 70 different type of elemental nutrients, mainly minerals. And then it'll load itself up in between 300% and 400% of heavy metals, parasites, chemicals, GMOs. So it dumps off its nutrients and then it loads itself up. And once it does, whatever it locks in, even after you've eliminated it back out to the world, those toxins, those chemicals, those parasites, that fungus stays locked inside the product. It doesn't put it back into nature. They're in lockdown. Did you get that? You only need to use 1/8, 1/16 to 1/8 of a teaspoon in a liter of water. People say, how much do I need? I don't know. How much fear do you have? How much anxiety do you have? Okay? And understand something. And I mean this. My gosh, does anybody notice the practitioners out there just really hitting it hard on parasites now because that's the new fad? Just know this. For the last probably 50 years, 99 out of 100 people are full of worms and fungus. But now it's getting more play, so we're going to play it. I stopped doing fungal cleanses, parasite cleanses, and heavy metal cleanses. You know how long ago? 30 years ago. Why? Because if you can show somebody how to do a perfect day, I just told you the black diamond will look after the brain, the cells in the blood, and the fluids of the body. And if you're just doing a little bit of that every day, would you rather fill up with worms or would you rather just keep the environment that the worms, the fungus, and the heavy metals are never going to build? Or would you rather do a parasite cleanse every 4 months, every 6 months, every 8 months, whatever you think you need it? Or would you rather not have to go in and try to kill and remove infestation? Because the problem is, when you try to get rid of these parasites, you've got all these dead soldiers in there. And guess what? They're not teaching people properly. Because every parasite that dies in you is a rotting carcass. And understand what parasites do, okay? They don't just eat your sugars and your flour products. They eat everything they can get their hands on. They're parasites. That would be like the government. That would be like a lot of different systems out there. Parasites come also in 2 legs, okay? All right? But let's get back to these ones. So understand this. Around full moon, itchy anus, okay? she goes psycho all the time, or he goes psycho around the full moon. And you don't know this, but that's when parasites are actually at their height of intercourse and breeding. Okay? All right? Okay, but I just want to say this. Ivermectin is still a drug. Okay, and I'm not telling you not to use ivermectin. But I'm going to tell you this. Okay, so I've got a friend. Did anybody see the show down on the farm? So they were giving their cattle ivermectin. So if it's happening to them, it's happening here, and I don't want to publicize it, but it's true. Because then people will attack me. Oh, you're just against ivermectin because you don't sell it. I never wanted to sell ivermectin. Okay, I'm in Mexico. I had somebody say, look at Daryl. Okay. And he was here, and you know him. And he said, look at, why don't you start selling ivermectin? We can make millions because you can buy it cheap here, and then we'll send it up to the United States and Canada. I said, I'm not getting involved. I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm not doing it. But, and guess what? It was in my gut. And the reality is that Tim and Tara came on my show down on the farm. And they said, we were following the rules. We're giving ivermectin to all our cattle. And guess what? When they come on the next show, because they didn't want to do it, they're going to bring it outside and show us the poop that the cattle were pooping ever since they gave them ivermectin was rubber. And guess what they lost? They lost all the worms, the bugs on their property. There was no more. The cattle used to poo, then you'd have worms, you'd have bugs, and then you'd have birds, and from the birds, then you'd have the deer. It's like, that's what it's like. They said once they gave the ivermectin, when there was no bugs in the poo, and the poo, they're going to come on the show. They're going to show it. They said we'll put gloves on, but it's like this. It's like rubber. And then we took them off the ivermectin, and guess what? The bugs have come back. The birds have come back. The deer have come back. So this has never been studied. Remember something. I don't care. I get it. Ivermectin saves lives. There's lots. You know what? But don't be using it on a continual basis. Okay? All right? That which created the planet, which created everything, let's just try to see if we can stick with that. Okay? And I'm not I want everyone to have the best life ever. And if ivermectin's going to save a life, do it. If antibiotics are going to save someone's life, do it. But understand something. You can have a sinus problem, you can have an eye problem, you can have an ear infection, and they're going to put you on antibiotics that have nothing to do with healing this. There's no science. It goes in and blows up here, up your good bacteria. It actually makes you worse later. And the reality is this. I'm going to be talking about this when we do the video on the bowel. But the reality is of this. The more you use antibiotics, the less immune system you have. Antibiotics should never be used unless you're in a life-threatening situation because they cause life-threatening situations. My God, everybody's talking about the superbugs that have come because we have no resistance. I have resistance. I'm never worried. There's no parasites that are ever going to live in me. I'm too high vibrational. And then you go, oh, isn't he think he's something? Oh, isn't he cocky? Oh my God, can you stop having moronic thoughts so you stop acting and talking like a moron? You are an electromagnetic light energy being. Honor it. The only reason why you have to do these deep cleanses for heavy metals and parasites and fungus is because you don't have a perfect day. You're not in charge. If you, from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, you on an unconscious level now, because you've been doing it for so long and so strong, you're just a high vibrational being. Do you think you're going to find a syringe, okay, with drugs in my house? Well, you're not going to find a worm in me either. You're not going to find low vibrational living. You know what? I could eat eggs in a meal and not know it. My hydrochloric acid is strong enough, it kills them. Hydrochloric acid, if you were healthy, will kill fungus, bad bacteria, okay? All right? And all parasites. So, and understand something. You can believe this or not believe this, okay? The worms that you have, 99% of them you grew inside of you. When you have a disease, otherwise, there's a certain part of your body that's rotting out. Thank you very much. Oh, that's not very professional, Daryl. I'm not professional. Okay, I get it. I don't sugarcoat things because people need to hear it. 99% of the parasites that everybody's fighting, it didn't come from their food. The environment of your body dictates who lives there. Who came first? The mosquito or the swamp? Huh? Yeah. Swamp. That's what you are. You're a swamp. My God, I went to the doctor and he says I have this virus or this genetic thing, or I have this worm that they haven't seen in forever. Oh, now you're special. You finally made it. Good for you. Okay, there's nothing special out there. It's very simple. Okay? The people that you see that are going from specialist to specialist to specialist to specialist have been taught not to love and care for themselves, okay? And they live with a bunch of people that do not know how to love and care for themselves. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, come on, please. Tell me about the people that you call neurotic and psychotic that are going from specialist to specialist, okay? Because they're not neurotic and psychotic. They just don't know how to love or care for themselves. That's all. End of story. And if you go out there and you demand, okay, that you need someone to put you out of pain, all right, long enough and strong enough, you're going to be losing some parts. And whether people believe it or not, you want to watch yourself for every screw, every plate, every bit of garbage that you put into your body. When they turn on the 5G, any metal in your body, whether it was from the bee or from operations, it's not great. What? That won't, no, because guess what? Attitude is everything. The attitude is everything. Remember something, I'm not telling you that. I'm trying to tell you that people are we always taught to look in the wrong direction? Okay, all right. People who have mesh, if they haven't changed their personality or changed the way they live, the mesh is going to grow something. Is the mesh like a dam? Is it foreign? Okay. Well, then is it creating irritation? Does a sliver create irritation on your finger? Would the mesh create irritation in your core? Now, what if you didn't change your diet and the reason why you have the mesh is because you rotted out? And that's the only reason why you got mesh. Oh, I went to pick up the couch and I tore out. I hate my wife. She keeps wanting me to move the couch. Oh, I had a baby and I got a hernia. No, you didn't. Babies don't cause hernias. Okay? You're rotting inside. Somebody can walk in and they can have a belly out like a beach ball. And what will the doctor say? You need to lose weight. No, you need to lose waste. People don't gain weight. They create fat cells to store the waste, because the waste is going to either rot them out or cause what they call cancer, which is just lack of oxygen. You ever go into a barn? You ever go into a barn where the manure was just piled up and it was really hot in there? You couldn't breathe. Where was the oxygen? It was gone. Right? My uncle died because of that in his barn. Yeah, because there wasn't enough oxygen. He passed out. Okay, but he also didn't look after himself, so it's not just that. So the reality is, your cells don't want to die, so they go, there's a lot of sugar in this body, and there's a lot of lactic and uric acid in this body. So guess what? There's not enough oxygen. We got to change, guys, and that's what you call a cancer cell. And Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize, the only person received the Nobel Prize for discovering the cause of cancer, which is lack of oxygen. So do you think that maybe pooping in your pelvis and rotting out might be part of it? Are you like kidding? It's all of it. And then on an emotional level, we know that cancer, okay, or otherwise what I call stage 4 inflammation, on an emotional level, it's what? What is it? Suppressed anger and hate. Oh, no, 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 my grandmother was, no, she hated her life. She hated the way she was treated. She hated that she didn't get the love she wanted. She was angry and she suppressed it. How many people do you know that are just walking around? There's a person here, and her name starts with D, who suppresses anger all day long. All day long. So she better have a good diet. And she better have a good mindset. Or she might just want to speak her mind and actually give herself what she deserves. Black diamond. It's in my drink. It's in all my drinks. I always put a little bit in. The reality is this, guys. I told you we're going to be all day at this. But have you learned anything yet? Okay. All right, that's the important thing. Don't want to waste your time. Thank God it's past the third day because I keep your money. Okay. So, anyways, know this. I live one of the best places without heavy metals. I'm still going to do the black diamond. I did a heavy metal cleanse and I feel so good. Okay, that's great. And guess what? When are you going to do the next one? Well, I don't know. Maybe when I start feeling sick again. How does that sound logical to you? But guess what? Every one of you work like that. There might be one of you that don't. Maybe two. That's it. Now, we'd be lucky if there's two in here that don't work like that. How many of you have always worked like this? Until I'm sick, I don't think about it. I've never tried to create a perfect day on an emotional and physical level. Why would I want to do that? I wouldn't fit in. So fit in, or it's like this. If you want to fit in, you're going to get done in. So guess what? When do you want to be all in? When do you want to be all in for you? I just want to help people. Well, guess what? Why don't you show them that somebody could get well and keep your mouth shut? What was that? Mike?
Yeah, first heal yourself so they can see that you are healthy. I think that's the only way to show people.
It's always been the only way.
Yeah.
Why do you think I speak loud and proud? Because I need you to become loud and proud in your life. Oh, that Dr. Wolf, he has such a big mouth. He's going to get his. No, I'm going to forge the way for everyone else that was made to be fearful and couldn't speak up for themselves. Tell me I'm not doing it. I get calls every day. People calling up and even in tears. I know you don't even know me, but you saved my life 5 years ago, and I can't thank you. And I'm just going, no, thank yourself. Thank yourself. Thank yourself. You might have gotten some information from me, but you had to do the work. You're 1 out of 10,000 people that will actually honor, love, and respect themselves and sit there while your family and friends are humiliating you. How did you know they did? Okay. Because they will. They've been trained to. Can you fix this? It's not right. Did you get the other one working? We need to fix that. Now it's not working at all. This is going to be a great training video. Look at all the splicing and dicing we're going to have to do. All because of a clicker. See? AI is taking us. This thing is ruining my life. What? Right there. Todd, can you turn the air conditioners off right there and we just leave that one on over there? And next time you'd like the air up or down, please go talk to Todd. Don't talk to me, please. It just makes it easier. Thank you. That's it. Okay? But make sure. I want everybody to be comfortable. Okay? But we're not going to keep everybody happy. I'm too hot, I'm too cold, I'm too hot, I'm too cold. So, you know. You're hot, baby. Okay, all right. What? Is it going to work? Yeah, okay. So guess what? The battery needs to be changed. Well, maybe the battery's old, though. There could be full of batteries, but... Okay, here we go. Make a note, Rafa, that we need to cut and splice that part out. Would you do that for me? Okay? And everybody, yeah. I want everybody to be comfortable, you know. Okay? Black gold. Black gold's for the digestive tract, from the mouth to the rectum. It's a larger molecule. Okay? So it does the same as the black diamond does. And it really does. Okay? So it's going to go in and it's going to drop off 60 to 70 essential nutrients, mainly minerals. And then it's going to load itself up again with heavy metals, GMOs, chemicals, parasites. And the parasites, when I say parasites, I mean bad bacteria. Isn't it something? Bad bacteria, fungus, okay, and worms. And the reality is this. When I say bad bacteria, black gold will only enhance good bacteria, but it will not take it into it. Come on. It was in the soil. It was in the soil. It feeds good bacteria and it eliminates bad bacteria in the soil. Okay? It helps to get rid of anything negative, from fungus to parasites. All right? So everybody, you do know you have yeast in your body, and it's natural. And when you do antibiotics, you change the yeast into fungus. And we'll be talking about that later. So the black gold, I will do black gold every day, okay? And I will do it usually no less than once a day. And I will do, you can do as small as a teaspoon. I do a level tablespoon, because the black gold, if you notice, if you go to our website, people will call me all the time. I can't find your good bacteria product. We don't have one. We don't sell a good bacteria product. Because whether you want to believe this or not, the only bacteria that actually stays in the human body and then actually gets bigger and stronger is mummies. Mummies bacteria. You can take all the bacteria you want. I'm not saying it won't help to enhance, but it doesn't stay. You can have only one bacteria. You're never killing all, even if you have radiation and chemo, you don't kill all the bacteria in your body. You can have just one left, okay? And if you do the right things, you can restore it back. It's just, so don't believe when people tell you you cannot restore it. And understand something. If you've destroyed the good bacteria in your large intestine, what do you got? You have scar tissue in here. You've got intestines that are twisted and knotted up. And that's why, go ahead. What do you think, chiropractor is going to get rid of it? You think acupuncture is going to get rid of it? You think massage is going to get rid of it? You think physio is going to get rid of it? You think a bowel cleanse is going to get rid of it? No. You've got to go in there, and nobody's been able to do this, that I found. There might be, you can't trigger point therapy. It might soften it up and relieve the pressure, but it's not going to do it. That's why we give a money-back guarantee. Wolf non-surgical and cell sonic regeneration, How about we'll get rid of that knot in most cases in 3 to 5 minutes? We'll go through your whole abdominal cavity here, okay, the whole core in 1 hour, and we'll dismantle it all. Now, you've seen how hard I had to work on a couple of people, but we don't have to do that to anyone. We can take an hour and just do it, right? We don't have to bring the thunder down. And if you use cell sonic regeneration prior to doing non-surgical, you don't have to work as hard. Did you guys ever see Penny when she came on a week ago? Well, Penny did 72 treatments in 2.5 days. That's what you can do when you have a cell sonic regeneration. You couldn't do that in 2.5 days with just doing non-surgical, because remember something, what the cell sonic does is it brings life back to all the tissues. It helps to fracture the displaced calcium. Okay? Anyways, back to this. So I'm going to tell you right now, doing daily cleansing tea and black gold is the first thing you always do. First thing you always add to your program. That's the first thing. Your digestive tract is the highway of life. Yeah, but I've got no. It's the first thing you do. Black gold. Before even the black diamond, I don't have a lot of money. So just do the black gold and daily cleansing tea twice a day. Just do it. And people go, and here's the problem. Let me see if it's next. No, it's not next. Let me just say it anyways, and I'll because I need to really talk about this. People look at doing anything that helps the bowel as a laxative or a stimulant. There's no laxative, no stimulant in the daily cleansing tea. And there's none in the daily cleansing tea caps. You can do this daily and never break your bowel down. You'll only make your bowel stronger. And the daily cleansing tea detoxifies all your organs. Lungs, lymph, kidney, liver, bowel. All it does is help to assist and support, with the emphasis coming down through the bowel. I do the tea, and if I'm traveling, I'll do the caps. Or if somebody forgot to make the tea, I'll do a cap. I'll do a capsule at nighttime. You know, how does it feel? And I'm not talking about how does it feel not going to the washroom. Most of you don't even know what a complete elimination is. I won't do it while we're doing the show, but if you want, I can tell exactly where your bowels are at by just looking at you. And understand something. A bowel movement is a computer printout. It tells you how emotionally and physically you did the day before. Isn't that something? It's a computer printout. All right? Like you had a good bowel movement, but it went right to the bottom, which means there's no oxygen. Yeah. So, you know. Okay, 1 second. We're not, I just wanted to make a comment. You have to look.
Everybody knows.
Well, because you asked me to. And the reality is that I always wanted to see my kids poop because I was able to teach them something. And every mother and every father should know what a good poop is, but they don't. And if they knew what a good poop is, their kids wouldn't have fevers, their kids wouldn't have tummy aches, their kids wouldn't have learning disorders either, because they would actually see that they fed their kid junk yesterday, and now they understand the reason why. The child didn't have a good night, the child didn't have a good day. And parents are dangerous. That's all I want to say. The majority of parents are dangerous. Tell me they're not poisoning their children. Okay, all right. If you're really good, mommy will poison you. Right? What did you give your kids every time they were good? You gave them poison. That's right. You gave them poison. Remember something. Kids aren't sick, okay? They're poisoned. Say it. Kids aren't sick, they're poisoned. You're not sick. You're not sick. You're poisoned. But you're doing it to yourself. We did it to our children. Remember something. It's not going to end down here, but it can end for you. It can end for your family. Is there a brave heart out there somewhere? Please help me. Let's see if you all go home from what you learned and clean your cupboards out in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the bedrooms. Let's see if you do that. You won't. You'll traumatize your family because you didn't know it. They were drug addicts. Fulvic acid. Just so you know, fulvic acid, that's where the 60 to 70 trace elements come from, okay? Fulvic acid, look at what it does, okay? It delivers over 70 micronutrients. It's a natural heavy metal chelator detoxifier. It's the best heavy metal detoxifier on the planet. Nothing can touch it, okay? Zeolite doesn't even come close. Zeolite can pick up heavy metals, but it doesn't give you any nutrition. Okay, it can't lock down toxins, so that's why you don't have to suffer. Wherever the fulvic goes in the body, it'll lock it down and bring it out. It's not like trying to bring the toxin out and you're feeling crappy all the way out. See the difference? But the fulvic acid and the humic acid, I'll be talking about those in a minute, we're going to stop carrying them because we're going to have to put the price up and then we're never going to hear the end of it. You can get your fulvic acid and your humic acid out of the black diamond. And a lot of people are going, this is actually a business move we have to make or else we have to put our prices up. Because of the glass has gone up in price and shipping is just going up constantly. So the fulvic acid is what people will use when they really need a lot of fulvic, okay? And the reasons why, again, support optimal, here, let me see. Supports optimal microbial balance within the gut. We know that. And like that's why I tell you I don't need to carry good bacteria. Because good bacteria will only give you temporary relief. Remember something. The soil determines, the quality of the soil determines the quality of the things that live in it. There's real science. Okay? All right. Improves oxygen levels, clinically proven to be anti-inflammatory, absorbs, locks down harmful chemicals, regenerates and hydrates cells. Okay, does everybody know that water does hydrates, but it doesn't hydrate? When you add black diamond or black gold, they both have fulvic. But if you have a dehydration problem, and if we still have this product, and the product never goes bad, you do know that, right? People go, well, how long is it good for? Well, just know that the fulvic acid that we actually made here has probably been sitting in the ground for 1 million years. Unless you get a contaminant into it, it won't contaminate. You understand? Understand that we have due dates on things that are not true. The FDA makes us do it. Okay? They make us do it. But there's no due date. There's no actual due date on here. A person would use this. You know, you can believe this or not believe this, but anyways, I had, when I brought Daily Cleansing Tea out, I was 28 years old, and I did it with a master herbalist. And he's no longer with us. Anyways, so that was a long time ago. He was older. But I actually found 2 years ago tea that I packaged back when I was around 28, 30, because you could tell with the labeling. I went and took the tea bags and made the tea. It's the same thing. Same thing. See, if it doesn't get damp or wet, that's the key. So it was dry, it was sealed. That's it. So I need you to understand that, okay? And I'm not telling you to take things and eat things that, oh, well, this is probably good. It's only 1 million years old. No. But I'm just saying when it comes to this, okay? Well, if you take the, if you're taking the liquid fulvic because you want that super hit, right? Heavy metals or very acidic. So, you know, the people I've got on that are people that are, but if you just increase your black diamond, Yeah, yeah. I'm just letting people know because I have a lot of people that depend on fulvic and depend on the humic acid, and I don't want to put this stuff in a plastic bottle. Okay, I'm not doing it, and I'm trying to tell you that the meeting that I had with my accountants that flew down here said, you know, you can either put that product up 40%, or we have to take it off. And so as soon as we do that, everybody's going to say, see, I knew it. No, but you just put that in your little bottle. Or just go to that drugstore and buy a dropper bottle. Everything has an easy to it. Yeah. But once this is gone, I'm not bottling it anymore because the humic acid is in a concentrate and the fulvic acid is in a concentrate with the nano, and it's already there with the black gold for the digestive tract. Then you're gonna have to hit up the black diamond more, because for me to send out 2 ounces, I don't have to up my price. But understand something. My profits have come down 50%. I've lost 50% of my profits. And we're not going to up the price because we know if we do, we're just going to, you know, sometimes you're put into a tight corner. That's it, you're put into a tight corner. So we'll hold out as long as we can and we'll make the changes that we can. Because the reality is, whether you believe it, the greater reset is to eliminate and bring people down to their knees. Okay. All right. Humic acid, that's the thing. You know, it might happen a little quicker with this because it's a concentrate. But I'll tell you right now, there's not a hormonal imbalance that this isn't going to turn around within usually days. And we can talk about people saying they've had a hormonal imbalance for years. Proof's in the pudding. You know, look at, I'm not just a guy hiding out in a clinic making statements. My information's all out there. That's why the attack's so easy. Okay. Mother Nature's most powerful antibiotic. Okay. Inhibits viruses, fungus, parasites. We talked about that already, because that's the same thing that the black diamond will do with the brain and the blood and the cells, whereas the black gold will do from the mouth to the rectum, right? Okay. Balances hormones better than anything I've ever seen. 70 plus bioavailable nutrients. We talked about it. Natural chelator, detoxifier, improves nutrient uptake, and does it ever. And that's with everything else you're taking. Stimulates energy and production. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, so Canada just told us that we can't ship humic acid to Canada anymore because it's a drug. We also can't ship the only iodine in the world that's non-toxic is ours. The only one. And the only one where you can take as much as you want. You never blow your thyroid. Never hurt yourself. And now we just got a notice from them saying that that's a drug too. Why is it a drug? Well, because the infinite iodide will balance out the thyroid within days. It also neutralizes every virus from COVID to HIV in 15 seconds. It dismantles it, pulls it apart. This is the best product when it comes to children. Okay? And this is 70% humic and 30% fulvic. Because they're not so acidic yet, are they? And they're not so full of heavy metals. But the humic is what protects them. If they're taking this, they're not getting colds or flus. Anybody that's taking the black diamond and black gold, both of them, you're not getting colds or flus unless you're like really pounding the alcohol or the potato chips or the ice cream. You like really got to pound it, okay? Because there's no such thing as a virus, because there is no viruses. There's just heavy metals, chemicals, and man-made poisons. Does everybody understand something? What they call a virus is what I just told you. And your fungus, your worms, and your bacteria will not touch man-made heavy metals or man-made chemicals. And guess what? Did anybody ever notice that the people that get the colds and the flus are the ones that eat most of the packaged foods? The ones that are dealing with things that have been more manipulated and poisoned? God's truth. Now, do you really want to know something? There's almost 300 different solvents and soaps made in the body. Those solvents and soaps are in there to help to break down what they call viruses. And then when it breaks it down, it has to be moved out through liquid. Diarrhea, eyes, coming out the nose, the vagina, or a fever. That's how we get rid of it. Move it out. Okay? Oh man, did I ever get the flu bad last year? Wow, yeah, I know. I saw you party at Christmas and New Year's. And I saw you overeat, you little piggy, at Thanksgiving. And then what happens is, does anybody notice that most flus and colds come with the change of season? Because your body is actually changing, preparing for a new season. So depending on how much poison you've decided to take in consciously or unconsciously will depend on how long and how sick you are. And I know you don't believe me about this and you're going to think I'm a brute. But I have meetings with my staff. Okay, flu season's coming. Don't be thinking that you can take off and get sick. You better look after yourself, because you won't be working for us. Understand this. Right there, people are saying, what a disrespectful prick. I'm telling people, please, start respecting yourself. Don't get sick all the time. And you're getting sick all the time because you don't look after yourself. And you should see the people that work for me that have flus and colds all the time. They fit the description. Remember, the system's all built around supporting sick people, yes or no? We use tummy love in little warm water structured enemas, from just newborns all the way for children. We will never get rid of tummy love. And we will never put up the price, I hope. Even if we break even on this product, we're not getting rid of it. Product is amazing for children. Just amazing. When they do this, children, when families do this with their children, they see the difference in their children. What?
Very sure.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's overnight. Overnight. That's right. It's 11:45. Thank you so much. What do you think so far? And then do your own research too. Don't take what I said and just run with it. Verify it. It's very important that you do that, especially if you want to be a practitioner. Because as soon as you start to be a practitioner, guess what? Your whole family and all your friends are geared towards what? You don't deserve it. You're not a medical doctor. You're not a naturopath. Well, guess what? When people come out of naturopathic college for 4 years, they're so confused they don't know one end from the other. And understand, naturopaths now can write prescriptions for antibiotics. They cross the line. All right? Understand something. As soon as you get any government approval, right, you had to sell something. Okay? And understand something. You don't need anybody's approval to call yourself a whole life health coach, certified practitioner. What I teach you here, and you can go on my website, I've got lots of testimonials, tons of them, from medical doctors, nurses, naturopaths, chiropractors, every place. They're going to tell you the same thing. And not exactly, but most of them will tell you that in the 9-day whole life health coach course, they learned more about nutrition on an emotional, physical, and mental level than they did in their whole schooling. Is your school government approved? Yes. I don't want to come. Remember something. You're only going to have the value on a personal and professional level in your life that you decide to put on you. If you're waiting for the world, your family, to approve of you, I still have relatives that don't approve of me. What should I do with that? Well, you have to understand something, but let's not even go there. Just know that you can always tell when people don't read up on something.
No, but I took official course. For breakfast, they recommend cereal. Official knowledge.
I know.
So it's, they learn, people learn, and we're gonna teach others. That's officially.
I know.
Yeah, it's scary.
I know.
It's fiber.
All cereals are GMO.
Yeah.
All cereals are GMO. And this is, I know that. This is taught in naturopathic college. They're dangerous. I just said that. Now that you confirmed it, I won't have so many people telling me that I'm a sinner or going to go to jail or something. You know, this is what people do. If they hear something and it goes against the, you know, and that's okay though. I told you that if you want to take the road least traveled, okay, all right, okay, there's called Broadway. What do we learn on Broadway? What's Broad? You know Broadway? What do you learn there? That's supposed to entertain you. Most of it's very toxic. So now, do you want to go to the Broadway or do you want to go the narrow way? If you go the narrow way, you are going to ignore. You're going to ignore these people. Or you're just going to say, look at you've got you, and I got mine. And just remember, you know, the majority of the population think like you and they're also not doing well. How do I look? Now, I don't mean me, but you would say, how do I look? Because if you actually do what you've learned in these 8 days, you're beyond everything that's out there. And that's not me saying, oh my God, Daryl, I think Daryl's amazing. I'm not saying I'm amazing. I'm trying to tell you, that which created the universe has kept 1 and 1, 2, not 11. Everything is logical, everything is simple, and guess what? Everything that means anything, okay, an 8-year-old can understand it. When you can't understand, when an 8-year-old cannot understand it, what you're saying, it's a lie. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you after lunch.